Turn up Sundays on Hyper Vibes Radio. 91.7 FM.
CJ Crisscross mixing the beats on Hyper Vibes Radio.
Then you're left in the dust unless I start fire. Gonna stand
You're not Hyper Vibes Radio. Yo, Crisscross, watch it.
When them see the lyrics constructor, coffee come in like a raptor, and everybody get jumped up. Play sleep up like helicopter.
Oh na na na, you stay on me radar.
You're not Hyper Vibes Radio.
You stay on me radar. 728 on the radar. You was talking in the beginning, back when I was feeling forgiving. It's a moment when I show up, got 'em
Mixing
saying
music
why.
from yesteryear to now.
Now 1 hour, it's your favorite DJ.
DJ Crisscross.
Mixing the beats.
It's your girl, Ebony Loren. Of course, we have so much to talk about. It's a turn up Saturday. Of course, YouTube, they don't like the music, so it might be a bit of silence, a little different than what we're used to, but we're going to get it going. Oh my goodness, in New Jersey, we are having a winter wonderland. It is a snowstorm. Yes, finally some real snow that will stick in the morning when you wake up. So that's going to be a pleasant thing to do with the kids, snowball fights, snow angels, and then also make sure the kids is also clearing the walkways and driveways because, suing, lawsuits, clear your property, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a part of the snow blizzard, a part of the snowstorm, make sure that you are clearing your walkways because you definitely can get sued. So much to talk about, so little time. So we're going to get down to the biggest orders going on in America. TikTok got shut down for all of 24 hours. Kids were crying, parents were cheering, but it wasn't something that would last long. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Trump reinstated TikTok, of course. So if you deleted the app, however, you cannot go to the Play Store and just download it. However, if you didn't delete the app, it's up and running. It's back on. But if you deleted it, it might take a little bit more time. You can't just go to the Play Store and download it. It's going to take some time to come up. What did that mean for that split second, though? For people who use TikTok in a marketing format for basically entrepreneurship or getting those coins, as the young folks say, it might have been something devastating. If you're just a kid, though, that was crying and upset because you're obsessed with it, I think it was a good thing. A lot of parents around the world not the world, of course, America. Now, TikTok is banned in other countries. It's just was supposed to be banned yesterday in America, but it's banned in India. It's banned in a plethora of countries. You can look that up in Google and see which ones. However, that doesn't mean that they still don't have access because, like everything, there is a black market. There is a way to get around anything. So having TikTok down was very, very devastating for many folks, especially, again, if you're using it and you're a social media influencer. That's definitely a lane that is used for sure. But recently, I don't know if you've been paying attention, TikTok has been getting in trouble for not really paying out. Keith Lee, another TikToker, who actually makes a lot of money, very, very popular in the States. He's a food critic. Put up the numbers and actually showed the paper trail where he was trying to reach out to somebody in regards to what's up with my money. Honey, this is not funny. He was saying and showing that it's not adding up. Another popular YouTuber, DDG, a rapper, he has his child, Halo, who he has with Chloe Bailey, a popular singer that is signed to Beyonce's label. Yes, they have a son together, and he is an influencer with the child as well. And he also was barking up the tree of what's going on with my money is not adding up. The clicks, the likes, the following, the everything that I'm on TikTok is not equating to what I'm getting with the funds. So it's not making sense. So TikTok, I think that's something they're gonna have to revisit. How was that added? How it was streaming and sharing? Does it have to be the original post? Lot of things going on with that. So I'm glad TikTok is back though. I will say that because TikTok is a way where we can transcend all generational gaps and get a lot of pertinent information out. So, just like Trump said, it was very, very influential in the election as far as solidifying his spot with the younger crowd. So, I do think TikTok is a place where we can bridge that gap and we can get a lot of information out. So, I am happy overall, especially as a social media major, I have a master's in social media digital marketing. So of course I would want to see TikTok or any platform just shut down. I think that's ridiculous. So definitely happy that it wasn't kaput, but we already knew it wasn't going to be kaput. And what's so asinine is, do we remember that Trump was the one who initially said that it was that he wanted to get rid of it? He was the one who even put that ball into motion, put that bill, because in America it starts as a bill, then you have to go to Capitol Hill and Congress and vote on it. So he started that ball rolling, and then he stopped the ball, and everyone's cheering. It's so crazy. That's just so crazy. However, Trump did his big one, as many would say. It's back up and running. Now, speaking of good old Trump, a lot of people were locking behind because Snoop Dogg had a lot to say in 2017 about whoever's going to perform. Oh, poor Chrisette Michelle got her behind handed to her for playing at his inauguration, singing. Her career has not have been right ever since that has happened. So now we get passed for Uncle Snoop. He can just play, and because again, he said, "Whoever's playing, I pay for your boss." That's what he said, right? So here we go, 2025. He's at the inauguration playing. Nobody's saying a word, really. I mean, it's going viral. People have made their comments, but it's not going to equate to any dollars lost. And look at Chrisette Michelle. She's just can't get right. So I don't know. I do think it's definitely a double standard always when it comes to that feminine and masculine ties, things that men can do, women can't do still. And I guess it is what it is. It comes with the territory, I guess, because vice versa. Now, I have to also mention what's going on with the legend, Wendy Williams. We've heard all the reports. Here in the United States of America, Wendy Williams had the most popular daytime talk show. And she had a lot of followings with "How you doing?" and "Whoop whoop." She's had a high strung personality and does what I do and what many do. She was the queen of radio. She reported the tea in a timely fashion before anybody else dropped it. She let you know what was going on. Of course, we know the situation that Diddy's in. She was a personality that dropped the beans, spilled the beans years ago. She actually got fired from the station in New York. That's what brought her to Philadelphia, because she spilled the beans about him being a little frisky, about certain, that homosexual behavior. So she spilled the beans a long time ago, and now that famous personality has been out of the spotlight for over 3 years, and she says that she's in a conservatorship and that she has no control over her money, and the conservatorship is being ran by somebody who is not her family member. Now, Wendy Williams, again, is beloved by many, very popular in the States, And she's basically known for journalism, reporting the tea, and she's a radio personality like myself. So I have great, great, great ties to this story. Again, free Wendy, hashtag free Wendy. She is in a conservatorship. Prior to the conservatorship, they said that she was outside of her mind, that she was suffering with aphasia, that is in the temporal front of your brain. It's basically dementia, but it's more progressive in a sense where eventually you will definitely not know anything. You will be totally incapacitated, no memory. So that's like the far end of it. However, they're trying to say it's not as progressive. However, the first initial reports were saying that she was out of it and that she was impaired beyond measure, could not get right again. So we heard her. We heard her. We heard her on the Don Lemon show. We heard her on the Breakfast Club, which is a very popular syndicated radio station out of New York with Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy. And we also heard her with Jason Lee, another very, very, very popular host who is a Wendy Williams fan. He's another one, started it. Everybody who does what we do in radio, as far as reporting the gossip, the tea, what's going on around the world, what's going on, whether it's political, whether it's entertainment, this is one of the greatest that ever did it. And she's in a situation where we got to talk about it because 28,000 people in the state of New York are under a conservatorship where their family member is not in possession or involved in those decisions. Now, there are things that can be implemented so her housing and everything is in place so she's not being abused. She has family members who are productive citizens that have their own wealth. Her son was originally had that right and it was taken from the courts and it's sealed. So people say, well, maybe it's sealed for protection. Nobody has a right to know what her mental state is. Nobody has a right to know what her medical is. I agree. HIPAA, I agree with all of that. However, I think it's sealed for a much, much darker, sinister reason. I think the reason why it's sealed is because it's illegal. There was an issue that Wendy Williams had prior to her leaving her show where the production team and Wachovia basically said she is out of it, she is losing it, and they go to the courts and they say, we're petitioning to put a freeze on her money, her hard-earned money that she worked her whole life for. So they say we're gonna put a freeze on it, and I guess some type of evaluation was done. Again, the court decision is locked, so there was some evaluation done, and they allowed little Kevin to take courses, and he became over the estate. Now, some things were leaked. They were talking that it was an exuberant amount of purchases as far as door dashes and different things that were spent, saying that it was abnormal in regards to her normal pattern of spending. Ladies and gentlemen, I am poor, and I looked at my DoorDash, and I spent over probably $8,000 this year in DoorDash. So if I was rich, I could $100,000. It's really nothing. So I think that this was a travesty. I think that her being in this situation where she is in a room, ladies and gentlemen, she went on Charlamagne the God and expressed it in very, very eloquently that she looks at a wall that she has to ask permission to do normal things like visit her son for graduation or purchase him a car. Or now her father's about to be 94 years old and she's asking, can I go? Or having to wait to see if she's allowed to go. That is impossible, and I will not stand for it, and my listeners aren't going to stand for it, because if it happens, Martin Luther King, who is so apropos because we're celebrating him in the States on Monday, he said, an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So if this can happen to the 28,000 people in New York, now Wendy Williams has the resources. They put a face to it. We need to really check this conservatorship in New York. Understand that this is abuse. This is elderly abuse. There are no checks and balances. Wendy Williams was very bold, and she said, I have not seen a receipt. Regardless of her situation, there should be something in place where we're making sure that if she does have this conservatorship and it is actually legal, that there not spending her money. And again, when we seen the Lifetime episode 3-part series that aired with Wendy Williams, we saw that conservatorship person was there. Sabrina Morrison. That's her name. I can say it. Wendy Williams, you can't say it, baby girl, but I can say it. Sabrina Morrison, say her name. She's the one that has Wendy Williams under this conservatorship. And she is actually already been in a situation where she was investigated. She has ties to the judge who put her in the situation. This is one of the biggest, I would say, up to date in my lifetime, because Wendy Williams was rich. And we're not talking about a little bit of money, we're talking about a lot of money. And she's saying that she's got $15 in her pocket and she has to ask for hairbrushes. And again, this is reports that were put out by Sabrina that said that she was incapacitated. She could not talk, that she did not know X, Y, and Z. However, she's begging people from different publications, come see about me. They're trying to come into the facility. The facility's lying, telling them there is no Wendy Williams. She's not here. That's just, well, we got to listen and we got to pay attention and figure out what we got to do. But most importantly, we have to do our research to make sure our loved ones aren't in this situation. Because it's happening. 28,000 people are under conservatorship. And again, you should still have dignity. There's things that are in place where your bills can be paid, things can be paid out. And if you have to be in a conservatorship again, that doesn't mean that you have to ask to exit, or because again, we don't see her mental record. So again, if she's schizophrenic, then of course she would have to be in a situation like that. But her niece is very astute and very present. So if it was a situation like that, I'm sure niece would share in a graceful way. Not that we specifically know it, but she would say these are the things that have to be. But no, she wants her aunt to have freedom. We need Wendy Williams to have freedom. We will make sure Wendy Williams has freedom. Hashtag Wendy Williams. It will not stop. I will definitely continue on all my platforms in any situation to continue to push this narrative and let people know that these conservatorships, as was the one with Britney Spears, wasn't right and the judge overturned it. This is the same thing, and I wouldn't say same thing as similar in situation. I mean same thing as we're going to see the same outcome. Wendy Williams will be free, and I will definitely see that. Moving on, but definitely not moving on without saying again, hashtag free Wendy Williams. Now we got to talk about Elon Musk. That Tesla, man, it's beautiful, but stop buying them. If you're a person of color in other countries, I'm sure that you could order them. The Tesla is Elon Musk is not a friend. It's not a friend. And I'll be very clear when I say this. He's a genius. He bought PayPal. He sold it. He sat up there and it's about 70% of the satellites that are out there. So he's definitely powerful. However, that power is dangerous because 7% of those situations as far as CEOs are people of color. He pushes the DIE narrative, and I want you to look that up. And I want you to understand that there's a difference between overt racism and the way of life culturally. Culturally is deeper than I don't like you because you're black. That's prejudice on any level if you say you don't like somebody because X, Y, Z. Racism is a little deeper when you're talking about monetary money, when you're talking about things that determine your place. Like in India, there's a caste system, right? You can never be out of this poverty if you have this last name or certain last names. It's a caste system. And I'm telling you, if we don't pay close attention in our history books, we will be in that same situation. So we have to be very, very vigilant when we talk about the future. And again, I think everybody has a right to vote and express that and show that across all boards. However, I am a black woman and I want to see all my people just really pay attention and make sure that they are supporting things that are indicative of their wealth, of their growth, and just pay attention, stay open, stay woke. So Elon Musk, keep You can keep your cars, even though they're dope on the inside. But yeah, your agenda I can't get down with. Definitely have to say this. It is some old school beef going on, y'all. Yeah, Cameron and Jim Jones is some old school rappers, right? But they turned, one is a podcaster and it is sports journalism, and his name is Cameron, and he's beefing with another rapper from Harlem. But the reason why I bring that up is because at what age do we stop? It's like, for the hip hop community, a lot of people are saying this beef looks embarrassing. I think it's a little deeper. I think it's marketing. I think that they are going to come together and they are going to do like some type of reunion, Dipset type of thing. I've been right about so many things here at Hyper Vibes Radio. I mean, I called the Diddy. I let you know that Papoose and Remy Ma were over. Shamar Shepard and Tiana Taylor. I bring you the tea like nobody can bring you the tea. Just call me steam pot and watch me whistle and blow. I'm telling you now. For sure, as my name is Ebony, they are going to have a reunion tour. And there are going to be smiley pies, and all the 80s babies are going to be so happy. And that's my word. Also, speaking of little hip hop, little, beef, Jay-Z is the guy, the Super Bowl. He picked Kendrick Lamar. Is Kendrick Lamar really going to perform Night Like Us? Is he really going to perform Not Like Us? I mean, it's his biggest song to date. Luther is doing numbers. 30 for 30 is doing numbers. It's on the Hot Billboard. It is streaming, but they like us. They not like us. I mean, I think in any country you play that. I mean, in America, I think he's gonna play it. I think FanDuel should have that as a bet. Like, are they gonna really play They're Not Like Us on the Super Bowl? I don't know, but I do think that'll inflame the beef. I do think that if he does, I mean, I don't know. He did a little diss track, Drake, about LeBron. I thought that was a little weak. If you do dirt with your homeboy and then you expose your homeboy, what are you really doing? You were dirt right with him. And I don't know. That's just a weakness. I didn't like it. It looked crazy. It sounded like a lover scorn. So that Drake diss that he did with LeBron was a no-go. It was kind of weak. So we're gonna see if at the Super Bowl he plays They Not Like Us. That will really do a turn up right there. Definitely have to talk about some movie releases. Mufasa, they did a remake of The Lion King. Well, not a remake, but they told about Mufasa's story. I encourage everybody to watch it. It's called Mufasa's Story. I encourage everybody to watch it. I heard it was very, very, very good. So I'm definitely going to take my daughter to go see that very soon. I'm going to enjoy it. When the kids say something's good, it usually is good. Their perspective usually is the younger you go when it comes to, especially when it comes to film, and especially that type of film, that is like up their alley, right? So speaking of that, right up your alley, I really hope that we're not just voting for the presidencies. I hope we're voting for the local levels. I really hope we're voting for the local levels, because when you want to make changes in your community, yes, the president is important, but it starts with your mayors, your governors, who is making decisions that directly affect you. So I really hope that my Hyper Vibe family that's listening to me in the States is paying attention to that. Oh my goodness. Again, we're streaming all over the world. Gambia, South Africa, stand up. You don't have to be a professional. I want you to bring your best. Sing to win $300 cash money, no BS. It's there for you. And then again, you got your own little following. That's even better, because they have to click, they have to subscribe and hit and vote. We're gonna get you all those details. But Sing to Win this Sunday. Let us hear you. Bless us. South Africa, 300 on the line. That's what's up. It's a turn up Saturday. It's definitely a turn up Saturday, but it's very, very cold outside. So we got to be very careful in the states in New Jersey because the weather is crazy. That means people are driving kind of crazy. So we definitely talked about a lot, but we got to turn up and talk about something really, really, really serious and really important. We have to pay attention to what's going on with our rights to bear arms, because I think that everybody should understand that we should have that right to bear arms, but that's something that is really on the line. So when we talk about this Trump and we talk about who we voting for and what we voting for, I think if it turns left, you gotta at least be able to protect yourself. So I think that's something really serious when we going to vote and what we're doing. Now, we talked about a lot. We're gonna talk about a lot more. We're gonna get DJ Crisscross, chop it up for a little bit. We're gonna come right back because we got lots more to talk about. Again, Sing to Win, $300 on the line. That's this Sunday, Turn Up Sunday. Again, don't forget #Free Wendy. We talked about my little soap opera box about Elon Musk, so do that research. Also about the bear arms. And again, we're going to see how bad Trump is or isn't. It's a lot. Come back, though. Turn up.
CJ Crisscross. Mixing the beats on Hyper Vibes Radio.
Then you left in the dust, unless I start fire. Gun some
You're not Hyper Vibes Radio.
Coffee come in like a raptor.
Yo, Crisscross, watch it.
Play sleep up like helicopter. When them see the lyrics constructor. Coffee come in like a raptor. And everybody get jumped up. Play sleep up like helicopter.
Oh, na. You stay on my radar.
You're not Hyper Vibes Radio.
It's a moment when I show up, got 'em
Mixing
saying
music
wow.
from yesteryear to now.
About 1 hour, it's your favorite DJ.
DJ Crisscross.
Mixing the beats.
Turn up Sundays on Hyper Vibes Radio. 91.7 FM.
CJ Crisscross. Mixing the beats on Hyper Vibes Radio.
Then you left in the dust, unless I start fire. Gun some
You're not Hyper Vibes Radio.
Coffee come in like a raptor.
Yo, Crisscross, watch it.
Play sleep up like helicopter. When them see the lyrics constructor. Coffee come in like a raptor. And everybody get jumped up. Play sleep up like helicopter.
Oh, na. You stay on my radar.
You're not Hyper Vibes Radio.
You stay on my radar. 728 on the radar. You was talking in the beginning. Back when I was feeling forgiven. It's a moment when I show up, got 'em
Mixing
saying
music
wow.
from yesteryear to now.
About 1 hour, it's your favorite DJ.
DJ Crisscross.
Mixing the beats.
It's your girl right back in the place to be. Turn Up Saturdays. Oh my gosh, have you seen Nipsey Hussle's kids? Oh my God, especially Legend, the one he has with Lauren London, looks just like his twin. Twinning. I mean, it's identical. It's crazy. Shout out to Lil Wayne. I wish things were different. I wish you could see him on the Super Bowl and, you know, everybody just pieced it up. I mean, that would be my idea of the Super Bowl. Like, if I was close to Kendrick Lamar, I would say this is what we need to do. We need to piece all that up. Then we're going to get Drake on the stage. Then we're going to get Lil Wayne on the stage. Then we're going to have Nicki Minaj. So it'll be really robust. It will be, oh my gosh, that would be crazy. Lil Wayne coming out, then Drake, they piece it up, Kendrick Lamar, and then I think that's the bigger picture. Because at the end of the day, you get further with the peace than the hate. But I doubt they're gonna do that. That's in my fantasy. That's my fantasy world. Now, T.I.'s a little Miss thing, little Miss X, not X, why am I calling her X? That's his wife, for sure. They had some roller coaster rocket, you know, up and down stuff, but T.I.'s an American rapper, and his wife has an R&B group. You know, she's part of a group called Escape, and they're going back on the road. They're going back on tour. So yeah, look out for Kendrick Lamar and SZA. They're going on tour. Kendrick Lamar and SZA, yes. They got the song Luther and 30 for 30. They're going on tour. I'm sure they're gonna be going on tour out the States. Shout out to Chris Breezy. He was in Africa and he tore it up. Said he didn't even realize he was loved like that. Never had that much love ever before. Again, we're gonna see the love. This Sunday, Turn Up Sundays, Gambia, South Africa, sing to win $300 on the line. So we're gonna see some of that talent. But Chris Breezy was out there all over Africa, South Africa, and they was showing him mad love. Again, I do think Chris Brown is one of the best to do it of our generation. Like, he's the best to do it. He's our Michael Jackson. He's our James Brown. He is our Jackie Wilson. He's the greatest to ever do it as far as who's living right now. And I don't think he gets his flowers because of the situation that happened with Rihanna, but it's no buts. He was a child. It's not about a but. That wrong is wrong and right is right. However, this was a child relationship, and they broke up and they ended up getting back together. It didn't work out, but you're looking like, it's never acceptable for a man to hit a woman. It's never acceptable for a woman to hit a man. And Rihanna definitely publicly went on a chain of different outlets and said, you know, I put my hands on him as well. And it is, you know, not a one-sided thing. Even though, of course, a man's is not going to feel the same as a woman. You know, it's not even close to the same thing. But nonetheless, I don't think we should, like, hold him stake to the cross. Like, I'm glad Kelly Rowland of Destiny's Child said, I was about to say of Beyonce's Child. that's how we were programmed. Beyonce's Child, no, Destiny's Child, my bad. But Kelly Rowland of Destiny's Child was like, we love you, Chris Brown, and we're giving you your flowers because you definitely deserve them. You're a GOAT. I would love to see you perform, and definitely one of the greatest. Did we see Rihanna's, I want to say husband, but after seeing the picture in the white dress that he was wearing, and I know it's fashion, and I know that those type of fashionable things teeter for the men, if that's always been a situation. That's a dress. He's in that white little bushy fallout thing. Yeah, he's in a dress. I don't like it. A lot of people in the comments, I scroll long and hard and rolled all the way up, and everybody in the comments said the same thing. That joint is trash can. Get it out of here. I actually like A$AP Rocky, so please stop wearing that. I know the bag was probably really big. The bag they gave you to wear that was really big, and I know your wife has an even bigger bag. But no, don't wear those dresses. My kings, if you're listening to my voice, I don't care how big the bag is, don't wear those dresses. Now, people will say, you a hypocrite. You a hypocrite, Ebony Loren, because you definitely love Madea. You love to watch yourself some Tyler Perry and Madea, and he's all in the dress. Listen, I think if you're in a situation where they take you out of a norm, not saying if it's the dress is the norm, then it's fine. I kind of, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you already in a dress, but if you're totally like the hip hop of the genre and you're masculine and you're having 3 kids and you have this beautiful family and you're very wealthy, why? I'm not saying you can only wear a dress to start out, but Well, I just don't get the reason. Like, Medea is a reason. It's a character. It's a character, y'all. And he started this character when he was very dirt poor, used credit cards to max out credit cards to do this play. So I get his dress. I gotta get the dress. Big Mama's House, Martin, I got it. I gotta, it's gotta be funny. I gotta get it. And it does matter. It just to be out in the dress. Like, it's reasons for everything. You know, I gotta know the reason. I've always been like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that picture is sus. Yeah, it's sus, like the kids say. Good news. All the teachers in New Jersey, they have made it so you do not have to take the state test. There's 2 tests that you have to take to get your certification to be a teacher in New Jersey. In America, we have a lot of people who choose teaching as an alternative path. So there's like backdoor ways to go in there. So in New Jersey, they submitted it. So if you have your bachelor's degree, you do not have to take the basic skills test or the placement test to do K through 3rd, K through 6th grade. You just, as long as you have your bachelor's degree, you just apply for your occupancy or eligibility. It's called certificate of eligibility, and you can just do it without any testing. So we're gonna have a lot of new teachers. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I actually teach. I substitute teach now. I can get my cert now, and I am gonna get my cert, but I don't know if I'm gonna stay teaching. I like to bounce around. I like to teach. I've taught on the collegiate level. I've taught online. So I don't know if I'm gonna stay in the Willingboro School District, but I definitely say that it's giving me my chops. Willingboro's home, so I definitely have appreciated the time with the kids. Now, speaking of kids, it looks like Sierra definitely, she has one more on the way, y'all. Yes, Russell Wilson, man, oh man, definitely he's getting up there. I think the Steelers might sign him again. I don't know. I gotta look into that. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to the NFC. Yes, in America, football is a very big thing. And Eagles, don't drop the ball now. Y'all always do that. Have like a perfect record, go all the way, and then you choke. Let me stop because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. So my friends, if they hear this, they're going to tell me that I should keep all the way quiet and have several seats. But don't choke. Don't choke, because I actually have a lot of, friends, family, my students that love the Eagles. So I want y'all to win. Definitely want y'all to win. And that's a lot coming from, a Cowboys fan. That's definitely a lot. So moving right along, we definitely got to talk about what's going on with the weather, boy. We got to tell you, there was snowing in Texas. It snowed in North Carolina. These are southern states that they've never seen snow. And I don't know, they was talking about the global warming. I think it's going to be interesting to see going forward. I'm talking about years and years and years from now, what that looks like, what that's going to entail. Like, because I wouldn't say I'm scared, because I'm God-fearing, so I wouldn't say I'm scared. But I think that these tall tale things of things happening that never happened before are a little wake-up call. So I do want our I ain't going to be on a soap opera box and preach, but I do want you to get right with yourself in the center. Make sure those New Year's resolutions you're following through. Again, they say they're never really completed because you're not specific enough. You just say, I want to lose weight, but you don't say, like, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. So we got to make sure that we set specific goals. You're intentional. I think the word for 225 is intentional. You have to be intentional with your thoughts, intentional with your actions, and move with a purpose for sure. Definitely move with a purpose for sure. I have a caller that will be calling in very soon, so we can talk about some of the topics. Because Turn Up Saturdays, we definitely let you know what we doing and how we doing. So come right back. We're gonna play a little music and get this set up so we can have a little turn up session. You know how we do. Debating is healthy. And maybe it won't be a debate because, as a host, I listen, but I definitely always voice my opinion as I get paid to do. So come right back, y'all. Turn up Sundays.
Turn up Sundays on Hyper Vibes Radio. 91.7 FM.
DJ Crisscross. Mixing the beats on Hyper Vibes Radio.
Then you're left in the dust unless I start fire. Guns and
You're an Hyper Vibes video.
coffee come in like a raptor.
Yo, Crisscross, watch it.
Blaze deep up like a helicopter. When them see the lyrics constructor. Coffee come in like a raptor. And everybody get jumped up. Blaze deep up like a helicopter.
You're an Hyper Vibes video.
It's a moment when I show up, got 'em
Mixing
saying
music
why.
from yesteryear to now. 1 hour, it's your favorite DJ. DJ Crisscross. Mixing the beats.
Okay, definitely a lot of people put his business out there and said that he dated white women, and Martin Luther King definitely did. He had a slew of white women, and that was documented, and the government used to harass him and show him pictures and tapes and playback things and say, you know, I'm gonna tell your wife, I'm gonna tell Coretta. So a lot of people said that that was why he had these one day little black boys or Joan little white girls, because he wanted to be with the white woman ultimately. But no, I think I think the cheating was the cheating, whether they were, I'm sure it was black women, white women. I think he just cheated. And I think the fact that some were white women in the 1960s rubbed people the wrong way. So those were the ones that were just so magnified and so a lot of pressure put on. But Martin Luther King, I'm just sure that it wasn't just underlying, just love the white woman. I don't agree with that. But I will say that Martin Luther King was a very apt proponent when it comes to self-love and having pride, and also understanding that we needed to bank black and we needed to understand economically how much we could move together smarter if we were as one. A lot of people talk about Jews, but the thing about Jews is they only shop with other Jews. If they need their shoes shined, it was only a Jewish person that they would pay for that, or the clothes, or the market, or whatever they needed. It was only their own people that they bought from. So it's no surprise that's why they are leading in as far as financial. They own everything, because that mindset is so powerful when you only purchase from yourself, and you only buy your own. It's only your dollar is circulating in your own community, and it's going back in your community and back in your community. The Jewish dollar, I think, goes around 10 times before it leaves, and that's new, because like I said, it used to never leave. So I guess this is some 2025 stuff. But black dollar doesn't even stay there. It doesn't circulate more than, I think, 3 times, and it's really powerful when you can control your dollar, control the money, control the market. We spend a lot, we have a very powerful dollar when it comes to spending, a very large appetite, but I guess that comes to hide the scars, when we as a people have been through so much, so it's easy to hide it and try to morph that into, I'm okay, but we're not okay. We're not okay. We actually are declining. On the businesses that were went public, we had 12 that were black owned. Now we only have 7. The wealth gap between the wealthy and the lower class is the biggest. The gap between wealth and poverty is the biggest it's ever been in history. So that it's always been said that there's going to be no middle class. Now we're seeing it in real time. So that's something that's really, really special. We're seeing this in real time. Like we're gonna not be able to treat our youth as if they're bums because they have to live with us, because the price of homes are unattainable, rent is unattainable. The gap is like Europe, like either you're poor or you're rich, either you own property or you don't. It's that simple, and it's going to continue to go in that trajectory. It's not going to get better in the sense of that. So please, if you can purchase a home, go purchase that home. They have first-time home buyers, FHA loans. Talking to all my people in the States, definitely get on that wave, because the paying rent wave is set up for failure, and that's a big telltale sign that you're poor if you don't own property, if you don't own anything. New thing for 2025: don't have your name in stuff. Have your name on stuff. Have your name signed on something. Don't have your name in some mess. Don't have your name in gossip circles. Have your name on something, on the dotted line. Okay? Alrighty. So I just want you to understand that when you own something, it's about equity, so you can even take from it. So let's say I'm having a bad week, or the kids need this or that. You can pull equity out of your home. But when you don't own anything, the rent's piling up. It's never a good thing. Just like banking, I encourage my people, if they bank, go to a credit union. People, stop putting your money in banks. In the States, we have banks and we have credit unions, and I'm sure across the country they do. I'm not sure how that thing credit works. I think I spoke to one of my riders and they said that there was no such thing as credit. So I do some research. Is that an American thing? The idea of credit, concept of credit, is that an American thing? A lot of people that I know that are not from this country choose to pay with cash. They do not, they don't even use debit cards like that. They like cash is king. And we always heard that cash is king. Because if something happened and it went left and we couldn't use anything, like, a different country bugged our systems, shut down our wave, our electronic wave, what would you do? Do you have any money under your mattress? Do you have any money in your house? Like, if they shut down your electronic way, would you just not have no bread, not have any money? Would you starve? Like, that's a really, really interesting question, because a lot of people, you know, they don't even think of that happening. I know I've thought about it because I think about a lot of different things. When you are a radio personality, you've interviewed a lot of people, you've been all over, you have a lot of time to just dwell and think about many different situations. And I definitely thought about the idea of our system as you knew it, the banking system, as far as debit cards, ATMs. Because remember in 2000, everything was supposed to shut down. We don't forgot that, but in we're gonna party like it's 1999. Then everything shut down, was supposedly supposed to shut down in 2000, and it didn't happen. But we thought about it then, like, what would that look like? What that's gonna look like? So in 2025, I do think we will see in our lifetime a little glitch where, like, it'll be like a situation where we can't use our phones, everything power, like a power outage, like a little, I wouldn't say little, it'll be catastrophic if our cell phone towers all went out for like 24 hours. I know that I've experienced that at T-Mobile, but I don't think it's been at the same time. Like, everybody's carrier just shut down for a whole day. People lost their mind over TikTok. My child was one of them. A lot of people lost their mind over TikTok. I mean, cried real tears. Now, I understand that this is how you pay your bills and you're using this residual income to pay the bills. So, yes, granted, I can see you being that sad about TikTok going down because this is your money. This is how you survive. But a lot of people that were crying, there's a lot of kids, a lot of little 5th graders, 6th graders, 7th graders that are so obsessed to that scrolling and dancing and posting and TikToking. And I mean, it was tragic for them. I have a child. I have an 11-year-old, and she was just like, crying, like, are you really serious? Is it really gonna be going? I told her, don't worry. I knew Trump was gonna do this, fix it. Again, don't forget, he's the one who put the ball rolling to cancel in the first place. So that's very peculiar. And then you take it away and then you give it back. But I don't know, that probably plays into his little mode that he likes, you know, that's power play, I guess. Again, I do encourage you to listen to everything I said about Elon Musk and look into that, because that's definitely something that would concern us, you know, concerning to say the least. Now, a lot of people had a lot to say about Kamala Harris and the little exchange between Obama and Trump. A lot of people were saying, what? I can't believe Obama and Trump was all chummy chum in front of Kamala Harris. How rude, how horrible, how rude was that? How rude can you be? Listen, we don't know what Trump said to Obama. He could have said, I'm getting inaugurated on the coldest day. I'm a cold mofo, shut your mouth. You don't know. Or he could have said, I'm sorry for calling Michelle a man. She looked good. I'm tripping. Those pictures don't show her justice. We don't know what was said. And we do understand that when you're on this level, it's only one way to conduct yourself. And that's basically what a smile and nod. Now, you say you don't have to be chummy with them. You don't have to be chummy with the enemy. The enemy, I mean, when you talk about Democrats and Republicans, they all party at the same parties. They all root for the same. They're not that far removed. Like, it's not what people think. They are all playing for the same team. I think if we really want some true things, we need to look at the local level, like I was telling you earlier. Vote on the local level, like I was telling you earlier about Congress, if you really want to make some change, because Democrats and Republicans are one and the same coin when it comes to a lot of things. So when people are so up in arms, like, how can you sit up there and make nice with this man and he called your wife a man? So a lot of people take problems with that, and they want you to take a problem with that because that's your wife. So I get it. Don Lemon said the same thing. Like, no, I don't have to laugh with you. I don't have to look at you. I don't have to sit with you. Just like Kamala Harris clearly changed the order, because if you look at the order previously for different funerals, it's like the way that they sat, it's like president, and then the roles of vice president. And the way that they did it, if you look back at the film, it's like she was like, I ain't sitting next to him. I ain't sitting next to Trump, period. So you can do that, and a lot of people would like it, would have liked it better, I'm sure, if Obama would have not even smiled or been any type of chummy chum with the enemy, or so they say. Because a lot of people voted for Trump. No disrespect for my listeners who voted for Trump. I do a lot of lifting and I play my shows for my writers. So a lot of people feel bad when they, if they hear I vote for who you feel is best for your household. So I definitely get it. But Kamala definitely gave them a look back and talking to them like, y'all ain't nothing. She did the look back and swung her hair like, so Kamala, I loved it. Kamala, I don't care what you talking about. I ain't with it, and I like that because a lot of people were respecting Trump, and he just stormed the Capitol when he lost. So all Kamala is refusing to sit next to you. She's not. And she's not going to the inauguration either. Yeah, she is not going to the inauguration, and I think that's fine. A lot of people were calling it disrespectful, saying Kamala Harris is a sore loser, but no. But the clip of Obama and Trump is definitely making its rounds, and it looks very, very messy. I can see why Kamala turned back and like, oh, okay, because I can see it all. I can see all the sides. Maybe it's the Aquarius in me, but I can see all points of view. I don't think anybody per se was wrong. I just think I could get everybody's view. I can get Kamala Harris looking back like, oh, look at them, chumping it up. Forget you. I can see Obama just like, he could have been saying anything. Like, I hope you're not staying past 4 years. I don't care what this 2025, you don't know what was said. So I just think that it can look, but I think they all handled it how they had to handle it, and I appreciated Kamala's look back like, I don't mess with you. Yeah, I like that. Now, there was a dancer named Stephen Smith. He was affectionately known by people as Twitch. Stephen Boss Twitch was his name, and he was married to a woman named Allison Holker, and she has a book coming out, and she's revealing some personal information. She said when she was looking for a suit for her late husband, Boss Twitch, he was on Think You Can Dance, and he was Ellen DeGeneres' DJ. She said, when I was looking through the closet for something for him to wear, I came across drugs in his diary. And also in the diary, it said he had been molested by a family member. And she put this out, and she put this basically saying that she had found the drugs. A lot of people said distasteful. A lot of people said it was more than distasteful. Why, and what was the point of that? Why? It's to sell books, obviously. It's to sell her memoir. It's to sell what she is pushing. The product that she is pushing, it makes you want to read it or buy it or know more. It's salacious, and it's wrong. It is wrong. Yes, Ebony Loren, DJ Chris Cross, Hyper Vibes Radio. That is wrong. We stand with Stephen Boss Twitch, Think You Can Dance winner. He was the DJ from Ellen DeGeneres. He's passed away under suicide. A lot of people say suspicious circumstances. However, it has been ruled a suicide all the way through and through, even though sometimes you can't trust what you can't see, and you're not really privy to the ins and outs. And even if you do commit suicide, it's still strange circumstances. If I'm rich, why would I commit suicide, leave my house, and go to a seedy hotel right down the street? There's so many different situations when it comes to that. But anyway, it was ruled a homicide. It was ruled a suicide. You ruled it a suicide. However, your late wife comes out with a book, and she leads with this information that's very personal and very hurtful, I'm sure, to his living relatives, especially those who said he was not on drugs. Emphatically, he was not on drugs. If you look at the autopsy that they did on him when they said he committed suicide, there were no drugs found in his body. He was absolutely sober. So if you are an addict, 9 times out of 10, when you do the autopsy, because they did the autopsy within 3 days, which means that if he was an addict, the amount of crack, coke, or pills or things that was in his system would not go away in 48 hours. It would have still been there, especially if he's an addict. So Allison Hoker, I call BS. I call liar pants on fire. And I hope his mom and I hope his family sue your behind and get all the income from that book, from that memoir, because that is just not true. And why would you put that out there? If this is your husband, you were not on bad terms, you were not divorced, why would I put that he was molested? What that's personal. He put it in a journal. Why would I share that with the world? That is just so just beyond me. And then you have 3 beautiful kids that are gonna come across this. Your memoir are gonna come across this moment when this is my dad's legacy, and you're saying that he was an addict and he was molested. And let's say both things were true. Let's say he was an addict and he was molested. What does that have to do with the public? Why would the public have to know that? And then you choose to do it while you're pushing your book, talking about how hard it was and it wasn't your responsibility. Let me tell you something. When you walk down the aisle, you say till death do us part, and you choose that partner, by golly, it is your responsibility. Vice versa. Whether it's an addiction to food, pills, medication, gambling, it is your responsibility to understand how to combat that. Just like if the shoe is on the other foot, and that's what I feel about marriage. I take it and hold it in high regard. And I think that she just poo-pooed all over their marriage. I mean, I'm sure that the friends of Stephen Boss Twitch already said that she was a humdinger and already divulged a lot of personal information that their friend would share about his situation, about his marriage. And it wasn't like he was just, it was bliss and just happy sunshine and marigolds. He definitely was saying that this is messed up. Like, I'm not happy. So that leads to the murky, the weird, the weird circumstances. Like, was he gonna leave you? Was he gonna leave you and you definitely, I don't know if he has some type of prenup in place. I don't know if he was the only breadwinner. I don't really know what you did after Do You Think You Could Dance, because she was Allison Hoker was a contestant as well. So I don't know what her pockets were looking like, but I know he was in heavy rotation. He had hosting gigs. He was an active DJ. He was on Ellen's show that was, abruptly canceled, and that's a little weird, with the Diddy thing, even though I don't really think she was at the parties, because he definitely Diddy made mention, like, when you gonna party with me, Ellen, like party. So, but that was weird that Ellen's show just got shut down like that. But what's even weirder is that Allison Hoker, Twitch, Stephen Boss's ex, not ex, she should have been an ex. That's me thinking in my head, but his wife, there was no ex. They were married at the time of his apparent suicide. I mean, I can't even say alleged. I gotta say apparent, because I guess that's what was said, but it doesn't sit right in my spirit. It doesn't sit right in my bones. I'm gonna say it. I don't think it was a suicide. And again, his friends, his mother, his family, Twitch boss, Stephen Boss Twitch, they stepped up and they said he was not on drugs. This woman is lying. This woman's on drugs. They're claiming they have the receipts to prove it. If I was that family, you need to put out a book. I would put out a book. Counter that. And put it out and say, you have to watch. I am my brother's keeper. I would put a book out if I was Boss Twitch's brother, and it would be entitled, I Am My Brother's Keeper. And I would air everything that I knew of her out, and try to get in contact with the kids. Try to stay in contact with your niece and nephews. It can be hard to do when your person died, your brother died, or your sister died, and the other person has the kids. But do your best. Uncles are needed. Aunts are needed. I don't think we talk about that enough. We always talk about dads and moms and grandparents, but what about the aunties and uncles? Give it up for aunties and uncles, because they're very much so important. So please check on them, and I hope they grow up and they see past that, because I think that's pure tea, not right, evil. It's pure tea evil. I really, really, really don't like it. Sidebar though, Drake is moving his son out of Canada after the defamation lawsuit against UMG. He's worried about like death threats. So I don't know. You better watch it, because when you mess with these labels, They are not one to play with. These labels do not play. These production teams, when you're making a lot of people a lot of money, you can't just stop. It's not that easy to just stop. It's a lot of scariness. It's not about Illuminati. It's about reality. When you are making a lot of people money, and it's a lot of people. I'm talking about a lot of money, not a little bit of money. They will do anything to shut you down. So again, they shot up his home. He's moving his son out of Canada. And this is all coming after the defamation lawsuit against UMG, who is his record company. And another thing is people don't understand these record companies. They're huge entities. So even if you have a sub like OVO, Drake, he has OVO, but that's a subsidiary. That is not the record label. You still don't own anything. So he is suing UMG, and if he is suing UMG, well, he is, not if he should move, and he should watch his back, because it's very you got to watch your back with that. It's pretty scary when you're dealing with these companies, because when the money they have, it's no joke at all. We also want to give a quick shout out again. Gambia, Africa, stand up. Who's gonna take it home? $300. I'll be in the building. Can't wait to hear. Impress me. You don't have to be a professional, but it does help if you have a following, because they're gonna vote for you. So please listen to me, Gambia. We are here. Sing to win. $300 is on the line. So represent. Now, again, I briefly mentioned about the Drake little beef about LeBron saying that he helped him cheat or whatever. It's not the only time that's been said. A lot of rappers have did that little diss, but I think it might be getting to Sabrina a little bit. So I think that, I don't know. I think when they get a little older, I see them all happy now, but I don't know. They might get a divorce. I say that because of the way that they're all, the reports are coming out. You play nice to catch fool. What did they say? That you play fool to catch wise? That's what I feel like she's doing, because nobody's just gonna sit back and smile at wide. And there's so many reports about, and this is LeBron James, one of the biggest basketball players, in the world. Nobody's gonna sit up there and just keep playing nice, and it's a bigger thing. So yeah, play fool to catch wise. I'm your girl, Ebony Loren. We chopped it up. We chopped it down. We talked about everything. Don't forget that free Wendy hashtag. Again, a conservatorship is something serious. 28,000 people in the state of New York are going through that. And injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. MLK, we're going to celebrate that tomorrow. That's why I keep thinking we're on a Saturday type night, but we're not. It's Turn Up Sundays. We turned it all the way up. I'll be back next Sunday. Gambia, sing the win.
Turn up Sundays on Hyper Vibes Radio. 91.7 FM.
DJ Crisscross. Mixing the beats on Hyper Vibes Radio.
Then you're left in the dust unless I start fire. Guns and
You're in Hyper Vibes Radio.
coffee come in like a raptor.
Yo, Crisscross, watch it.
Play sleep up like a helicopter. When them see the lyrics constructor. Coffee come in like a raptor. And everybody get jumped up. Play sleep up like a helicopter.
You stay on my radar.
You're in Hyper Vibes Radio.
You stay on my radar. 728 on the radar. You was talking in the beginning. Back when I was feeling giving. It's a moment when I show up, got 'em
Mixing
saying
music
why.
from yesteryear to now.